I just want to fucking go home, you know? And don't you remember a world, that was so drastically different from the one that we're in now? I do. This so is not even remotely the same fucking planet that I grew up on, you know? And I mean, one thing that hurts about that is the fact that, you mention noticing and everyone around, they just would gaslight you, you get gaslit for noticing, you know. I don't, I don't even know, like, what analogy should I come up with, right? It would be like if you got kidnapped by some fucking strangers or something when you were a kid, and they like dragged you to their house out in the middle of nowhere, right? And there's just complete strangers, but they like gaslight you into believing that they're your parents or something, right? I don't know. You've lived here your whole life, boy. Look, here's your toy truck. Don't you remember playing with your toy truck? Like, fuck no, I've never seen that shit before in my life, you crazy sons of bitches. Right? Yeah, this this place is fucking weird, man. I got all these memories, of a world that doesn't seem to exist anymore, you know? World with a yellow, not just a yellow sun, but all right. This is something I don't hear people mention at all hardly. Where I came from, not only was the sun yellow and the cycles of the moon different, but they were massively like much larger than they are now too. Right? I'm talking like 5 to 10 times larger, basically. Like at least the world I initially started out on. I mean that sort of changed a little bit. I think I was already jumping to different worlds or something from the time I was a kid. But when I was a kid, the world I was in, yeah, the sun and the moon were way closer. I mean, there was a full moon or something. It was practically coming in your fucking window or something. Like it's huge. I remember one time I was a little kid getting a kiddie pool, right? And I'm out there, and I guess I was out there too long. I got so badly sunburnt that I had these massive blisters. I had a blister on my shoulder that was like about as big as a baseball. I was burnt from head to toe, like just red, peeling, itchy. Like I got the most horrible sunburns. I mean, like seriously burned. And like myself as well. Like I used to have really light blonde hair and super fine, like really white skin and really light blonde hair. hmm And now my hair is like sort of, well, I'm getting close to, honestly, probably getting close to starting to turn gray a little bit, but it's been like, just because, I mean, the stress is, I don't know, all the shit I've dealt with, man, I feel like I've aged. I don't know, I'm 42 years old, but I mean, and I don't know, I mean, I still got muscle and all that kind of shit, but I mean, in some ways, though, like, I feel like I'm more like, 62, 72, or something, really. Just because all the shit I've dealt with. I mean, all the crap I've dealt with, even just since 2020, or more like, since 2014 or something. It's just been so much fucking bullshit, so much crazy shit, that it's like so much abuse and insanity and just. I mean, I used to be like, for the longest time. I mean, I was like, I could be like, I could pass for, like, 21 Jump Street. I was one of those 21 Jump Street kind of guys. Right? Like, I probably could have like blended in with, as a high school student or something, when I was like in my fucking mid to late 20s or something. I had people, that were like surprised when they found out my age. Like they thought I was like 15 or something, when I was like in my late 20s and shit. Yeah. But now, yeah, I just like been aging like crazy. Just the stress, feeling, not in Kansas anymore, so to speak. And I didn't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto. Used to have a little dog named Toto. God dang it. That's a pretty. I should think of the good times. Just Toto little. Not, as far as the dog goes. Yeah, it was a pretty horrible, gruesome end for that dog. I was there. She got hit by a fucking truck, went flying through the air, and just this bright red fucking like really light, bright red blood just poured out all over the truck. Just kept on going. The big white pickup truck came flying down the hill. Almost hit my other dog, Horse, but she kind of just barely like got out of the way. Toto, not so much. You know, when I look back on it now, like at least currently, I'm struck by this feeling like it doesn't even make sense because this was a big truck and she was a little dog. You wonder what I mean? Well, what I mean is this was a big fucking truck. I mean, logically, a dog that short, that small, truck could have like just driven right over top of her without even fucking scratching her or something, you know? But somehow it hits, like the front of the truck hits her, sends her flying. But like in hindsight, it's like that doesn't even make sense. Like what exactly? Well, I mean, this truck was a big, fucking big truck, you know. So it doesn't even make sense. Like, because you would think that a dog that size, like you could stack three of her on top of each other without them getting hit by the fucking thing. You would think. But nope. I don't know. Maybe the simulation needed me to have that sort of trauma or something. I don't know. But okay. Talking about like this not even being the same place. Yeah, you remember the yellow sun? You remember the cycle? I mean, the seasons are different. The sun is different. It's a shitload of things that are different, you know? You look up at the sky, like at the weather and stuff, right? I mean, the clouds are different. Yeah. The weather just seems like fake, like manufactured or something, you know? Jesus, come on. Ugh. Ah, fuck. Great pocket that is. I mean, have you noticed that like the weather just seems fake? Brr. Well, I mean, like it behaves in ways that would seem like fucking impossible, you know? Well, like it could be blue skies and sunshine, 1 minute, and a couple minutes later it could be clouds everywhere and it's pouring rain, or vice versa, you know? I mean, it could be just blue skies as far as the eye can see, and then literally like a minute later, the entire sky is covered in clouds and it's fucking like a monsoon rain coming, you know? Or there's no clouds, and then suddenly fluffy clouds just appear out of nowhere, you know? Just, and I don't mean like, oh, they came in like they just blew in from somewhere. I mean like, bam, there they are, you know? I don't know. I gotta pull myself together. I'm so sick and tired of all this shit. I'm not really. I don't know. Recently, this time or whatever, right? I'm not really. I don't think I'm dealing with this shit very well right now. Well, I mean, I just. This is the first time since I've been here where I didn't pay off every single penny of the rent immediately, and where, yeah, I paid like 600 out of like 850. I don't know what the result of that is going to be. I intend to, pay the rest or whatever. I mean, I could use credit. I don't know. Like, I haven't been able to stop myself from drinking. I mean, I'll end up going on a fucking bender or something when I know it's important for me to get out there and work. Take some time to like recover, get out there and work, and then I just end up buying fucking beer again. I don't know. I guess, yeah, honestly, I guess right now I feel so uncomfortable in this world and the way things are that it's like, on some level, it's like, fuck it. It's like I almost don't really care about consequences anymore. Like, I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of the bullshit, man. Sick of the fucking fakery and the bullshit here. Sick of being gaslit. I think I mentioned like how the sun was different and basic stuff like that to my dad last night, and I wake up and I see him like ranting about oh, I'm losing my mind or some shit, and I was wondering what he was talking about. And then I realized, oh, he's talking about, because I mentioned the sun being, he's like, oh no, the sun's always been white. Like, really? Oh, there's always been fucking full moons every 2 seconds. Well, there's always been a full moon every 2 seconds, and the sun's always been white. There's always been dragons flying around in the sky. Don't you remember all the dragons that were always everywhere? Like, no. I know, man. remember the dragons. I don't know. Fucking engine sound. Got this relatively new neighbor here, that young dude seems to have, like, you know, one of those unlimited money cheats running or something. But he's always like, never mind. I don't even know if I want to get into it. Well, I guess that is kind of an aspect of, you know, I could point to a lot of stuff about this, you know, as like an aspect of the simulation or something, right? Because it's fucking weird, right? There's a bunch of fucking things I could point to as aspects of, like, this place being fake, you know? And that's one. the sort of new neighbor that's been here for like a month or couple months or whatever the fuck, right? Well, the amount of, like, money that seems to be displayed, right, by this dude, based on, you know, when they came here, it's him, and he's got this, like, smoking hot girlfriend or whatever, girlfriend, wife, I don't know what. And came here, and he's got, like, had like a motorcycle and a big ass diesel pickup truck, you know. And then one day, those just sort of disappeared from here, and there was just like a pair of Mustangs. Also has, like, seemed to have, like, multiple, like, Ring doorbell things planted here and there, you know. The vehicles, though, always seem to sound like, you know, like there's something that's not quite right with them, you know, like they're not really running all that well or something. Until you hear them, like, revving the engine over and over and shit, like, yeah, like it sounds like if he didn't rev the engine over and over, the thing would just die or something. I don't know. I'm like, okay. But I mean, there's been tons and tons, like, just the place where I live, like the building I live in. There's been plenty of stuff, like, over the years that I've been here, that is strange, and that points to this being like a simulation or something, or like the Truman Show or some shit, you know. There was this one dude, right, that moved in, also got a hot girlfriend or whatever, of course. um, like kind of a relatively big guy, like, a, you know, about my size, kind of jacked, tatted up, you know. He had a big ass pickup truck too. And when I saw the big ass pickup truck, honestly, I thought it was him. I thought he was back or something, you know. But no. But anyways, so this dude and his chick or whatever, like, at some point, this is, I don't know, a year ago, whatever. They moved in, and they were only there for maybe a week or something, and then like poof, they were just gone. Like, I don't know, at some point they just like fucking drove away and never to return. Like, they move in, and then within like a week or something, they're just gone. Like, just poof. So, like, that was kind of weird, right? But I mean, there's all sorts of other examples of like things being weird here. Like, I mean, there was this woman across the hall. I don't know if she still lives there, but I guess she's like a nurse or some shit at the hospital, supposedly, or whatever. So she had this minivan, right? I mean, which that in itself, the minivan being hers was weird in itself because this other dude down the hall, Chris or whatever, had said that it was his. But then I saw her get in and drive away in it. And I haven't seen that minivan back here in months. It was like it was there and then it was gone. And then just poof. You know? Yeah. Just like poof. There it goes. There was also this dude. Yeah, I mean this weirdness kind of goes back years to like when I first moved in here, right? So there's this like building, right? That's kind of out back. It's like a separate building that's out back of the building that I'm in. That people are all living in this one building on the top floor of what I don't know. I've heard rumors that this used to be a fire station. The guy that fixed the toilet said it was used to be a grocery store or some shit. I know there used to be a card shop downstairs when I was a kid. So, anyways, there's this separate building out back, right? And when I first moved in here, I met this old dude that was living in that building out back, right? I never saw him again. Like, never, ever saw him again. And I've been here for like 3 years or something, 3 or 4. Yeah. I saw him once when I moved in and never again. And I saw signs that, seemed like somebody was still living there or something, though. And then the new people that moved in that I mentioned that, like, swapped vehicles however many times, right? Were like, the other day I was, like, shit faced and I walked out on the porch and I see them, the girl or whatever, going in and out of there like they're planning on moving in there or something. When, like, which to me is like kind of extra odd because I mean I've seen the porch light on the fucking place like prior to this that signs of before they were ever getting there were signs that somebody was still living there. I never seen them, but I saw, porch light getting turned on. I saw light in the window, shit like that. Hear that? I don't know if you can hear the engine sound or whatever, but we just one of these just pulled in here. I don't know, man. This place has been so uncomfortable to me pretty much the whole time I've lived here. I don't look forward to coming back here, like ever, basically. Really. That's one of the reasons why I end up drinking so much. Is like when I'm done working, it's like I know I have to come, like I don't have anywhere else to go. So I know I'm gonna come back here, and I feel so uncomfortable about this place that like before I will even come back here, like I end up going and buying beer, and then whatever I have in my car that needs to come inside, right? Groceries or like anything, I'll gather it all up and get it all together so that, get it all together in like a catering bag or whatever the heck. Because when I pull up out front here, at night especially, right? I just want to be able to hop out of the car quickly as possible, grab everything in one foul swoop, and head directly for my fucking door and shut it behind me and fucking barricade the shit. I don't want to be sitting around, dicking around in my car for very long or hanging out front. Just straight from car to room, Because this place is sketchy as fuck. People around are sketchy. The place is sketchy. I mean, it's just not a good vibe, I feel like I gotta, take a deep breath and get ready to slay a dragon, right? If I have to go take the trash to the dumpster or something, I'm gonna put on my armor and grab my sword. I've got to go slay a dragon. I don't know. This is fucked. I don't know. I don't know, dude. If I had to try to describe like how weird this place feels, and I don't just mean this. I mean like the whole fucking planet or something at this point. Kind of feels just so fucking off, you know, like so far off and different, backwards from the world that I remember. Imagine if you got abducted by aliens and they like dropped you. They took you from your home, from your planet, and they just drop you off on some alien planet. And then they insist that you've always lived there and it's always been like this. So, like, you run the risk of being seen as insane for remembering that you ever weren't living on this alien planet. But don't worry, they've got teams of doctors. They've got, and your parents and everyone else will insist you've always been on this fucking. Well, you've always lived on Mars. Like, no, I really haven't. Oh, yes, you have. It's always been Mars. It's always been Mars. It's always been Mars. Right? Like, fuck no, I didn't. No. I mean, and on some level, it's like this place tries to. It's like disguised. Like it's trying to look like Earth or something, right? Have you seen all the fucking. I mean, there's one video going around where suddenly it seems like a whole lot more people noticed that somebody was wearing a rubber mask pretending to be this, but it's not the first time that there's been somebody on live TV doing an interview, politician or otherwise, where you can clearly see that it's just somebody wearing a fucking rubber mask to try and look like this person, right? Happened with Biden, Fauci, numerous others, right? Where it's like you can clearly see the bottom of the fucking mask like flapping around on their neck and shit, You can clearly see where the mask begin or ends and the person's real fucking skin begins, Remember like the 7 foot Joe Biden? You know what I'm saying? uh Kind of shit that's been going on for a while. And we're just supposed to not notice. He's always been 7 feet tall. He was always 7 feet tall. The sun has always been white. Next thing you know, all the stars in the sky, turn green, and you're like, did you notice the stars in the sky were green? The stars have always been green. They've always been green. Okay. Well, the sky has always been purple. We've always had a purple sky. Oh no, it was never blue. It looks blue. It's just blue in the movies and TV shows. And we draw it like it's blue in old pictures, but it's always been purple, right? Really now. People have always had two heads. It's always been like that. Dude, yeah, seriously, it's like fucking beyond the fucking Twilight Zone or something here, you know? And just outer limits fucking Twilight Zone fucking shit up in here. I'm just stuck here. There's always been two suns. There's always been two suns. It's always rained frogs. Don't you know that it's always rained frogs? It's just, oh yes, this is perfectly normal.